Hello and welcome to Promenade Culture Center. This is Culture Corner, a unique opportunity to bring you the authentic stories of creative individuals. And we have two today, which is also a unique thing. Shahad and Rawan from Alzajil, the founders of Alzajil. Very, very warm welcome to Culture Corner.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's lovely that we managed to do this quickly since the day we actually met and the day that I collected my first letters from you, which thrilled me.
Amazing.
So I'd like to ask immediately how the initiative started, and you can choose whoever wants to talk first. Of course, we have
Rawan
more than
first.
enough time for both of you to share your experiences. I'd like to know how the initiative started and the response from the community.
Okay, so I guess I'll start on that. Azajal basically is, it started through friendship and letters. And for me to explain the story behind it, I have to take you back to the roots of the story.
Please do.
So back in 2016 or 2017, I'm sorry, I'm not good with dates.
Okay, some time ago, definitely, yeah.
So I used to study in Ireland and I used to follow this guy who went to the same school with me. But we've never met because he was an exchange student in China. So I was checking his stories as usual. He's a beautiful, he has a beautiful content and he's a great artist. And he had a story of a mail and it showed his full address. And he left a comment saying, this is my address in China in case you want to send me letters. I captured that immediately and I texted him, can I do that? And I've never ever sent any letter through the mail system. So he took me through that. And the very next day, I made sure to check my best collection of stamps and postcards because I'm a collector of stamps and everything. I just never sent a letter through the postal system. So I went the next day just across the street to the post system, wrote him a beautiful letter, used my wax seal, stamps, stickers, everything.
Everything.
And I sent it all the way to China. When he received it, he tagged me on Instagram and he asked me for my address so he can write me back. And the moment it was receiving the letter that changed everything. The moment I received my letter, I knew that I'm gonna start doing that. And I called Sasha to tell her my feeling and my experience. And Colin, his name was Colin, became my first pen pal actually. I started to write to him everywhere I go and in every country that I travel to. And I made sure to ask everyone that I care about or people that I find interesting that I encounter during trips and travels, that I ask them about their address and I exchange letters with them until today.
Yeah.
And we do that in every trip we travel together. So I guess from there, I'm gonna...
Yes. Floor is yours.
After that, she called me and I was in Kuwait. I was not studying abroad. And she was like, you need to send me, travel, because if you send it from Kuwait, it might not reach me. Whenever you travel, just, find a postcard, find the post office and send me something every trip. And I used to travel a lot with my dad and, he worked with the military and he had a lot of travels. So every country I used to go to, I used to send her a postcard, but I never received any because I'm in Kuwait. And then 2018, I think, a year or two after, I went to study abroad. I went to Newcastle and she was in Ireland. And then it started. I was like, now you have to send me letters. I have to receive my letters. And it became more of a correspondence. So we used to have WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, I think. We had everything digital. And we were like, no, send me a letter.
Yeah.
There's something so precious about it.
So special. It feels different. It's when you take the time or make the time to write something and express your feelings, it's different than when you write something on WhatsApp. You're just like, hey, Sasha, wait,
do
whatever.
this, do that, come here, go there.
But it's the way you express, even the way where people write cards for birthday cards or Eid or
it's
the writing itself is beautiful and I miss that and I love to see it more.
And we missed it. We came back to, both of us, we finished our studies, we came back to Kuwait and then this died. So we can't do this anymore unless we travel and we try to send each other letters back to Kuwait, but some reach some.
I have to say that the postal system does work.
It does work.
but it's a bit slow.
It is. I have my own experiences with it, yes.
But many get lost on the way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it also depends from where you're getting your letters.
Yeah.
Certain countries you do
get
get your
them.
And
letters.
I'm not sure how it functions. Is there like a PO box or anything? Because what we did when we moved to Kuwait almost now 11 years ago, my husband is a doctor. We chose his hospital as a receiving spot.
Okay.
Because there's no missing of a hospital.
I have a
you
box.
know?
So you do, if you have a box, you do have a PO box, or you can use your.
I tried to open one, but I was like discouraged by a few workers in post office. It is an adventure in Kuwait, but somehow we managed. And I sent a lot of letters out of here, a lot of postcards. Sometimes they would travel up to 6 months even, but all of them reached the people I sent it to, which is really great.
I actually just received some recently last week. My friend sent me his latest book. He was actually one of the writers for Alzajil.
Yeah.
And he has a book, it's called The Mithnawi, about for Muhammad Iqbal. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
book. And yeah, it was surprising for me to get something after the war because it took
We
a
thought
while.
after the war nothing
Yeah.
was gonna. Yeah.
So yeah.
So I wanted to see with you, once you decided you want to start this beautiful initiative here in Kuwait, did it take you a long time to organize and plan and start, or was it a very swift?
No, it was actually
Yeah, it
very
was very
quick.
fun. Yeah.
I think I called her when
Yeah.
I was. Where was I? I forgot. I don't even remember. I was in China.
Yeah.
And I called her and I was like, let's do a snail mail, like club kind of thing. And I called it snail mail. Like I was very cliche.
Which is perfectly fine. Yeah, I think that's what it
I
is.
just had no idea what snail mail is at the time. So she had to explain it to me.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a snail because it's slow and it's not like fast social media kind of
Yeah.
thing. And we send letters, we receive them, they're physical. And she's like, okay, but I don't like the idea of a snail.
I'm like, do we even have snails in Kuwait?
It's like not our identity, not something we actually have. And then we kind of bounced the ideas. And she
Yeah.
was with Shadan, I
I
think.
was with the artist behind the logo is actually my ex-colleague.
Ex-colleague.
Shadan Shimari. She's so talented. And she was with us while we're on the phone.
Yeah.
She's on speaker. And I'm like, I'm telling Duna, Shadan, I picture us as pigeons holding a letter. And she's like, and she pointed out that you can't be a pigeon and the account's called snail mail. Like you have to decide whether you're a pigeon or a snail. And then Sasha was like, okay, let's call it a Zajil. It's Arabi.
Which is a meaning for a
Pigeon.
For the
yes,
carrier
the
pigeon.
carrier of the
Hamam.
So it was
mail,
just
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I love the name.
Yeah.
And she also took, we had to discuss because the idea behind snail mail, where you write the letters and you have to send them to all the subscribers or
Like, yeah, subscriber participants.
around the world or like locally. But because of the postal system, we had to kind of change the idea and
Yes.
drift from
Think,
that.
how can
Yeah.
we let people get physical mail without
Yeah.
them having like a mailbox
Yeah.
or a working post?
And the first response was good.
It was
Very
very good. Yeah.
I missed on these first few because you started actually early, yes, in February, yes, when I did not know about it actually at all.
It was on
Yeah.
the 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
we had a
Your
whole-
timing was amazing.
It was amazing. And because we chose it for a reason, because the first writers, the contributors were Stada Huda Abdelmaghni,
Yeah.
the owner or the founder of Khimyai,
Yes.
and Aziz, her lab technician, Lurbeya. And it was also with Karasi Finds, my favorite account
Yeah.
on Instagram. And Huda wanted to write from her journal from the invasion, the Iraqi invasion. So the date and the timing made a perfect sense for her letter. And it was very emotional actually at that time. But yeah.
Because right before the National Liberation Day holidays. So it was like, it felt like the right moment for it.
Yeah, and can you imagine then the end of February and everything
Little
suddenly
did we
makes
know.
sense in
Yeah.
what you were
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Yes,
We did not think that would
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you persevered with already the next one. Yeah, which is because art beats any adversity.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
We had to change, delay the dates until that, because we weren't sure when to come back to Kuwait. We were also stuck in different countries.
Yeah.
So, but it worked out.
But it's so interesting because you had to come back as snail mail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were the snail.
Just before the taping, we were discussing because we were all stuck outside where we were and how we came back. And I think it's incredibly interesting because if you want to share like how far away you were actually.
She was further away. She was all the way in Sri Lanka. So
I think from Kuwait, I was actually closer because I was
Oh.
with Kuwait Airways like
Actually,
for
Ah,
hours.
yes, it's a
She was
one.
at
Morocco,
North
yeah.
Africa,
One
Morocco,
flight
so
away,
that was
yeah.
a very long
because
flight.
it feels like an Arab country,
Yeah.
so it's closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
In that sense only. But
That's
yeah.
a good. That yeah.
Yeah.
That sense
Yeah.
is.
But we met
makes sense.
eventually in Riyadh, Saudi, and we came back.
We drove back.
We drove
yeah.
back to Kuwait, and we discussed. We were, yani, we had to escape the reality through Alzajil. It kind of helped us in a way to.
But also help survive the reality and make sure
Yeah.
that.
And actually, the second we have the letter here.
Yeah, we
one
wanted-
of the second mail had different writers, and one of them was Al-Yamam al-Rashid.
Yeah.
Oh, sadly, it's not a full letter.
Yeah.
That was just the sample.
It's fine.
But
Yes, we
Yamama
can
wrote
explain.
us a letter during the war, and it was such a beautiful letter. And it was very
It was about
yeah.
abundance and how you should feel. during the
Exactly.
war
It was
and-
very beautiful
Yeah.
and touching at that
and
time.
it came at the right time.
Yeah.
So like we had the first collection, a letter from Ustada Huda,
Yeah.
and it was about the Iraqi war.
War,
And
yeah.
then the second collection, weirdly,
And this one was more, I think it was more relevant to everyone.
yes,
The second letter.
Very
Yeah.
relatable,
Very,
yeah.
relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I did is I went to my parents' home because I know they keep everything in my old room. And I found the letters I received via snail mail in those years of 99 coming from Europe to Doha. And one letter actually came, they were all addressed to where my father worked. Again, the easiest way to get a letter. But one was sent by a friend who was a bit forgetful, so she forgot the stamps. And without that, that's your way out. They came. How did someone send them out of one country to another, to who knows how many countries before they actually reached Doha? And it's some of my family. And I had, of course, we had emails. I received tons of emails every day. I used to live off of these emails. But also this mail I still have. And it's all like still, there. And I printed also all the emails. I wanted to have them in this like letter form. So it's something that we call now a dying art and a lost art, but it's actually not. And you are the best proof of it.
yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
If it's dying, we're gonna revive
Yeah.
it.
Oh, definitely. So the first, I also want to hear more about the first responses from the community once you started.
I think we're gonna start with the carpet guy shop because and of course the owners Badr and Josh. So they were the first people we approached before we launched the account officially.
We didn't
And
even have the mailbox.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
So we approached them and Badr was so excited. Both of them were very excited and their enthusiasm made me so happy.
Yeah.
The very next day, Badr sent me pictures online of different antique mailboxes.
Yeah.
And he's like, ask Sasha and choose one. We're going to hang it in the shop for you. And you're welcome to choose that any day you want, every month until your project ends. And we're very happy. So from their response, we realize how people are craving this type of connection. They're craving
Yeah.
something tangible, something to hold on. And it's beautiful. And it was their response that actually made us feel,
Actually, yeah.
yes, this is going to
We
work
kinda
out.
hurried with it. We were going slowly.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's sending us pictures of mailboxes, and we're like, "Is this like happening?"
So this is real.
fast?
It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have a bit of a push, a positive one.
Yeah.
And then we announced the first mail collection, and we were very surprised because it was literally 3 followers, probably.
Yeah,
Me, her,
maybe
and
less,
the
yeah.
carpet guy shop, and then like more than 40 people signed up, and I'm like, whoa! And I guess it's the word of mouth that worked for us
Yeah.
because people post, and then you attract people like similar mind people or
Similar, yeah.
like-minded
Most of
people,
them
people who are
yeah.
interested in this, and that's how the circle grew bigger and
Yes,
bigger.
I saw it on a friend's account and someone writing and sending letters.
Yeah.
This is my crew.
Yeah.
I immediately signed up. Yes. I am also curious about further in the past, your experiences with writing. Were you journaling? Was a written word something that was important to you? Arabic is such a beautiful
is,
language to
yes.
write in. Can you remember these connections from the past when you were a child?
I think us being
Yes.
millennial kids,
Yes.
we all had journals in schools where we wrote to each other, classmates writing letters to each
Yeah,
other.
we used to write for each other, like
So,
messages.
Yeah,
in
and it's
Arabic,
something very
English.
common and beautiful. And I still have them and I look at them from time to time.
Millennial
So,
kids. I
yeah.
thought you guys were. Younger.
Yeah, we're actually zillennials between the Gen Z and millennials, but yeah,
If you-
come on,
yeah.
millennials is better. We prefer
Millennials.
millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it is part of childhood
Our
and
childhood.
yeah, she's more of a journal keeper. She loves to write
I
journals.
have like
I've
diaries.
But also your profession, you teach a language, right?
Yes, I teach
Yes.
English in Kuwait University, but it was not like my choice of a major. I was actually into sciences and I was supposed to be an engineer.
Good that we got you on this other side. Yes.
Yeah, but I used to always have a journal. Like I have
Yeah.
mine. I just found one like with the Hannah Montana pictures, and I have all of them. I did not throw any
Yeah.
of my journals, and we also have the ones I was with her from like elementary school.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
So we have letters from, you know, when you're in class and you write messages
yes.
on, I still have those.
But I do too.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
I keep these as well, and I give them to my friends on their important days, like wedding days and stuff. It's part of my gift because I have a lot of these, like interchanged, you know,
That's
in
beautiful.
the
That's
classes.
cute.
and
I'm
all.
gonna do
I
that.
think we love, yeah. And for me, my mom called me a hoarder. I love to collect everything, and I brought some here to show you.
Please
You
do.
can
You can see it's like stamps, letters that
And
I
you keep
have.
them in proper albums. I'm saying this for those who will be listening only.
Yeah, so I collect letters from strangers, and surprisingly, these letters were written in Kuwait from families that we know. There's
And
like
you mentioned flea markets as well, and
flea
different,
markets. Like sometimes I buy letters from Egypt or like different countries, and I find they're actually written in Kuwait. They just
This is beautiful.
yeah. So I have everything: photos, letters, stuff that people gave me, stamps. This is like
A
address
little address
book,
book, yeah.
things people wrote to me, pictures, everything. And it's just that.
How many of these do you have? You
Oh,
have to
many.
admit to us.
Oh my God,
Because it's a proper
thousands.
album, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, many.
But is there any better thing to keep, honestly? I mean, you know, letters are so wonderful, postcards. I keep all of my
Everything, any medium, to be honest.
Yeah.
Photographs,
Like,
everything.
yeah, little
It's
drawings, doodles,
beautiful.
all of it.
Anything that traces people's lives, I think, is
Yeah.
just wonderful. Yeah.
I'm curious, how much do you feel education and school actually support this kind of activity? I know that, for instance, in some schools you don't have to do handwriting anymore, which is, you know,
Not in
how are
our
we going to
times.
write?
Yeah.
How do we really take notes? You know, I still write everything. All of my notes are taken by hand. And for me to keep the relation to my mother tongue, I write in my mother tongue. Even when I have a meeting in English, I always write notes in Serbian, and it's a good practice for my brain as well, but also not to lose this connection. So how much do you feel the school actually supported this or not? And I ask everyone actually about the influence of school, regardless of what they're doing in life, because we need to reinforce, I think, some things back into our education.
I think we
I
wrote
think
a lot.
we
especially
did. In Arabic,
Yeah.
we did have like
It
a
was
letter
beautiful.
writing class.
Yeah.
I remember they taught us how to
Yeah.
put the address, the name, and how to
True.
start like a.
That's how we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think nowadays they don't
Yeah,
have
they
that.
don't do it.
And it's sad for me. It's hard for me to remember anything if I didn't write it in my own
Exactly.
Exactly,
handwriting.
yeah.
Like
Especially notes in
digitally. Oh
uni
my
and
God.
all.
I
Yeah.
know some people nowadays, and they're like, I didn't hold a pen or a
We
pencil
got told that from the
Yeah,
club. Like
from
I
the
haven't
club.
held a pen for
like years,
Yeah.
maybe 10 years, and they didn't hold
And
a pen.
it's
It's surprising
Yeah,
for
it
me.
is surprising.
Like
Yeah.
I buy pens like as a hobby. So
Oh,
I can,
stationery has all of my money.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Definitely. Yeah. I want us to mention briefly that you also have another, or you're included in another initiative. If you could explain this to us, the letter exchange as well. So people can sign up for a set of your letters and writings every month, but also there's a letter exchange in at least in one
Actually,
of the places.
Sasha started that, and I love the idea. It
Yeah.
was the write a letter, exchange a letter.
Take a
or-
letter, leave a letter.
Sorry, yeah.
So it's basically because again we don't have the mailing system that they can send each other letters. So we chose a place where people can go get a coffee or tea or something, drop a letter, and take another letter from a box anonymously maybe.
Yeah.
But then we kind of made it a bit different. Don't make it, if you want to have a pen pal, write a name, leave a letter for your friends, and maybe they can go and look for their name and find it. Or maybe leave it to a stranger, just write to a stranger.
Yeah.
So we used Monday's tray
She was
there.
she loved the idea.
And she also loves writing, and she has, I think, postcards.
Yeah, she actually told her dad the idea, and the very next day he started building
the mailbox.
the mailbox, and she
I
had
left
it
my letter,
outside.
so I've seen it. And I opened like a special, like a washi tape that I didn't use in years, just for this
Amazing.
specific letter, just to kind of make it, at least in
Lucky
my mind, a little
receiver.
bit more special. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got someone's postcard. I chose randomly. Actually, some letters were, like you said, named for addressed at a certain person. But I chose just something that was for anyone to take. And it's so lovely because it's someone's experience from the past and how they reflect on it. Yeah. And a few of my colleagues did it as well. And like you said, the word of mouth is so important.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the most important.
Like we saw it on the comments. Like some
Yeah.
people are like, "I'll send you a letter. Go get one."
Yeah.
So they went and maybe they never knew about Alzajil or the take a letter, leave a letter, but they went for the letter anyway.
True.
So both initiatives are continuing, right? How do you envisage this for the future?
The collection is actually gonna end in February, so it was
It's a one-year project.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's gonna be. I'll let Rawan talk more about it because she's the
Well, actually,
archive.
yeah, we're thinking of building a contemporary archive, a beautiful archive for humans living in, like, whether in Kuwait or the Arab world, and hopefully expanding worldwide. So we're starting from here, and we have friends writing for us soon from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, and other countries. So we want to build this archive, human archive, human stories,
emotions, art,
emotions,
multimedia,
exactly,
everything.
yes,
Yeah, physical, kind of art, because it is art. Like we can see with the Yamama, it's a painting.
Yes.
yes,
With Sarah Ceramics, she put her thumbprint
Oh, yes. This
on
is
it.
the one we got last month.
Yeah.
So it's her fingerprints.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's our letter, and it's beautiful. So different mediums, it doesn't matter, as long as it translates your feelings.
And I think you introduced it beautifully, the fact, like you said, a different medium. It's not something that's common, not something that you would expect.
You can decide whatever you want. We don't give them guidelines. You're free to do whatever you want. Yeah.
Why do you think we are all so hyped with this idea in this era of digitalization? And we love the fact, and we are rushing to get these letters. What do you think is what we're getting? What are you personally getting?
Maybe
out of
because
it?
everything is already digital. All of our life is
And
digital.
fleeting,
pictures, memories, writing, everything. And it's the idea that anything can get lost in any minute.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes. I still believe that only the paper thing cannot be lost.
Exactly. And then tracking or tracing back everything from the older generations, we look through their letters, their writing, their journals, pictures.
Yeah, we don't
basically
look for something
archives.
on the phone.
Do you feel that older generations, not just that they only had that, but do you feel they valued it more? Do they still value it? Do you have this exchange? Do you have someone from the community who is from older generation that participates?
I do think
I am already someone from the older generation.
all of
but
us.
like,
I do think everyone, like all the encounters we had, people value this physical thing more.
And they miss it.
Yeah. Especially, I'd say, for the older generation, they didn't have maybe the digital
other ways and
ways. Maybe they had it this way and they're used to it, but then they saw the difference when everything was digital.
Yeah, they felt the difference.
And you'll value that even more, because you see, I don't know, it feels different when you make time to write and express and even document, and it's different.
And it is also, like you said, about the documentation as well. How many remarkable pieces of information can be found in these old letters that mean something today and you can build upon. I was fortunate to partly grow up somewhere where mail was a regular thing. So there was a postman. He was like your family member. You would invite him for coffee when he would come, because he used to carry, in big bags, all the letters, smaller packages. We had friends who would send us, for instance, fruit from, the seaside because we were in more a continental area, and that would arrive like grapes would arrive on your doorstep
I
in this,
love that.
Yeah, it's so
with a
cool.
letter of their daily, life. Nothing special, but so meaningful today when you go back and read this.
But
I love
it
that.
makes the connection more
Yeah.
valuable, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
Because now if they just send you the fruits, you're just gonna,
Yeah.
where's the
What would
letter?
that be? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And I think we're always human crave connection anyway. You want something you hold on to, you want something tangible, personal. It feels different. So yeah.
And it really connects people, even, strangers, or something that you have through this initiative and the letter exchange initiative as well. How do you see the letter of today, given that, for instance, last month we got a ceramic letter in a way? We got someone, I think Mishari's is actually his embroidery.
We have it here.
Yes,
So, yeah.
that was, yeah.
It's a very
It's
beautiful
a letter
piece.
embroidered on a, what is it? A piece
It's a
of
fabric.
It's,
Yeah.
yes, he is a
yeah.
textile artist, so I figured that this is what it actually is, and we're fortunate to know Mishari and work with him, and I think this letter made me cry.
Yeah.
And it's just so
It's a
wonderful.
beautiful letter. Yes.
So how do you see that, given that these, you translate these different mediums for us in a way, because instead of, receiving Mishari's textile, we get it in a letter form, printed and so on. How do you define the letter? What is
For
letter
us,
for you
it's the
today?
spirit of the letter more than the medium itself.
Yeah.
So whether he decided to give us a print or the textile itself, whether it's a ceramic piece or a photography, photos, if you wish,
yeah.
anything, any medium, it's what we do care about. How personal, how deep, intentional is the piece.
And it's something coming from them. So
yeah.
something they sat down, worked on, and then sent to us.
Exactly.
So it's basically the taking time, being present in the moment. So whatever you are present in the moment for is your art, is your, yeah.
How much of work is it to prepare this for, the next edition of letters?
I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell just looking at it, but I am curious to hear.
Yeah. But it's definitely worth it, and we're enjoying every moment during this, especially that we know there's a deadline for this project. So we're very excited to
communication, a lot of communication with the artists,
Yeah.
and then trying to figure out how to do it. Like this was, I think, difficult.
And also deadlines
Yeah.
to get the letters.
to get the letters.
The draft.
Interestingly enough, I think all of our guests have a daily job. You too have it as well. So you have to find that time for something that's kind of taking over your life, even though it's a passion.
Yeah,
Yes, but it's
definitely.
fun and we enjoy it, so we
Yeah.
don't mind.
Especially it's once a month.
Yeah.
That what makes it even more possible.
Yeah.
And that's why we decided that it's a 1-year project, but every month we're going to have minimum of 4 writers.
Yeah.
Just so that when at the end of the project, we have a good archive of letters. And yeah, we make it more interesting. It's like a cool newsletter that you go and you write, you read for different artists.
Do you feel that in a way you are, I know that surely you are protecting and preserving the craft, the art of writing. Does this end of the project look different now when you're sort of half into or in the first third of it? Do you feel that it will end where you think it ends, or it changes with every month and response from community?
I don't think things
So
that
far, I think we're sticking with the deadline because, like you said, it is a lot of work and we need to like wrap it up.
And it's important to have the body of work you can actually look into and see what you gained.
But again, you never know.
But,
Things might change.
We
and
might enjoy it so much that we don't want it to
we get
stop.
approached by different people every day,
Yeah.
and it excites us even more to have different medium and different letters and
people want to be involved.
Yeah, people
they
want
do
to
want
be
to be
our
involved.
next like collaborators. They want to be writing the next letter. So we keep having actually more people than the time allows. Yeah.
But that's such a great response to what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
it is.
We love it.
Alhamdulillah.
And it feels like you've been around forever,
It does feel
which is a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
We feel that way.
Yeah. Can you share, you've already shared with us some of the great letters you own or have been contributed to the project, but some of the most interesting writings and letters you've encountered in your life, I think you are experts now. So maybe not the most, but some of the interesting experiences you've had with letters.
I think for me, it's not going to be part of Alzajil. It was
Yeah.
actually one of the first letters I received from Rawan. She sent me a postcard with a picture of the urinal.
Yeah, it was for Marcel Duchamp, I think, if I'm
Okay.
pronouncing
Yeah.
his name right.
Yes.
And she was like, "Is this art?" Like on the postcard. And I'm like, that's the first time ever that I receive a letter or a postcard that made me think. Like, is it art? I mean, I'm sorry, it's disgusting, but is it art? It could be. It
Yeah.
might be. And
How
it
do you
was in a
define art?
museum.
Yeah.
So yeah, is it? And her question actually got me thinking. So
That's beautiful.
for me, that's the most interesting
Yeah.
thing
Very
that I
personal.
received.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I have to say the first letter I've ever received from Colin, just the fact that it was the first letter and the feeling that I had was amazing. It was so magical. So I'd have to say it was his letter,
It's the start.
regardless of the content
Yeah.
of the letter, but the
The start
feeling
of it
that-
all.
Yeah.
Can we speak a little bit about what you do in life also besides this? Because I want to ask how much this aligns and contributes to your work in this initiative. So we mentioned that Shahad is a language instructor. So that has that connection, right?
Definitely, yes. I mean, it started when I was actually a student and learning because I told you I was in sciences and I was not supposed to go into literature. And I loved literature from before and journaling and everything, but having it in an academic setting made me love it even more. And also now with like outside of school, outside of university, I have like my book club. We have some kind of writing workshops for fun, like a manifestation workshop, writing for grief, writing a letter for your past self.
And you published also a poetry
Yes.
book. Big lover of poetry here. So please share a little bit with us. So how and why and
I'll get you a copy of the book. It's in the car. Just wait for me. But basically, the poetry book is everything I wrote from. It's about grief and how to process loss. And it's basically the things I wrote either in the notes on my phone or my journals or like letters that I sent to friends. And then I kind of translated into a poetry
And
book.
it's called Swimming. It's available in That's the Lesson.
yes, please share all of this info is important to us.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful book.
It's also
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So-
I am always thrilled to learn of another poet because the poetry, I believe, will save us all in the end. Yeah. And how about the students? Do you share with them this passion of yours through teaching?
No, some, not all, because some of them are, because I teach actually in the College of Life Sciences. So their majors are like, nutrition, AI actually.
Everybody needs language, I mean, in the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
some are just taking English because they have to. And some, no, they actually love it. So these are the ones I kind of can share things with. And we're kind of thinking of doing like a students' book club.
That's nice.
And, doing like initiatives to let them show their love for language and writing and reading. But it's going slow. Like, I don't want to say that the new generation hates writing, but I think the new generation hates writing.
We sort of, not we, but like we taught them that. We told them that they don't need the language anymore if they are doctors or nutritionists and so on. But when we look into the older generations, for instance, I see that back in the day, doctors, engineers spoke beautifully, wrote beautifully, because language was equally important as learning anything else. And then we also forgot about handwork, which is finally getting back its spot, and it's being appreciated again. And then there's a lot of handwork involved in the creation of your letters. So it's not just one art we are reviving through the initiative, which is also amazing. And how about your work? Well, not just work. I actually don't know what you do for a living, but I am aware of the Sunrise Club and would be lovely to
Well,
share
what
a
I
bit
do for a
about it.
living is that I'm a field engineer, environmental field engineer. But I guess for me, I started another club before Alzajil, and it was the Sunrise Club with my friend.
Which I think everyone knows about.
Hopefully,
Almost.
maybe almost.
Yes.
So it is a different format from Alzajil. However, they both have the same intention, I'd say. We wanted to create a space for people to share their stories, to sit together, connect with each other.
A community.
A community thing, basically. So whether through letters or conversations, that's where I think they both collab maybe.
And they did have a letter writing workshop actually with
Yeah, we
Sunrise
did. We
Club
did few writing
before
letters,
Alzajil.
and I saw how, and it was always fully booked, and people were so interested in writing letters, and we actually had many of those people who signed up for the mail workshops.
So your community is also, there's an
overlapped.
overlap of communities as
100%.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, these connections are everywhere. I have a colleague on my team who I believe came to some,
Yes.
Kuwait
Islam, I think,
Islam,
yeah.
yes, which just, the information comes from various places and sources. And the enthusiasm that people share about these initiatives, I think, is crucial. And these experiences, what I wanted basically to ask, not just the overlapping of communities, but I'm guessing that there is something you learned in these previous experiences, your daily jobs or other initiatives, that you have woven into Alzajil as well. Is there something very specific? Is it the discipline? Is it how to approach the community? Like, what things you found really important from your previous experiences that were woven into the new initiative?
It's definitely discipline, but it's also passion. I feel passion is the most important, like loving the letters or the sunrise or the community that you're getting.
And I guess it's also the creating something.
It is.
Creativity.
And finding the space where you find people who are also, who share the same interests of you.
Exactly.
So like
you said, when you were like letters, that's my crew.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a lot of people come and say the same thing.
I felt like we know each other.
Yeah.
Because I saw this.
Having the space with
like-minded people and
How do you choose the contributors? You don't necessarily have to share exactly how you choose them, but what are some of the shared values that you expect?
I'd say for us, authenticity.
Exactly.
Yeah, not fame, definitely.
Not popularity.
It's just people who write with their voices, like,
and that touches us, like their work
personal,
inspires.
intentional. And it inspires. That's what matters to us. And we've actually chose people from the people who sign up in we checked their Instagram accounts, and I felt like, wow, like we did, many of the artists we didn't know actually, and we started to know more artists through
and that's a great thing, like learning more about the community in general. What would you like this project to leave for the community once it ends in a way, something that lingers? What do you expect?
I think one of the most important things is having a beautiful archive, like human archive stories.
And to shed light, because like we said,
to shed light on the artists and
themselves.
Preserve their works too. It's important. And there's so many people that you don't know much about. Like one of the, we met one of the girls through one of our mail collection, and she shared the story of her grandfather. He was the first mailman in Kuwait. And I'm just like, wow, not many of us know about this guy, and we want to know more. And other people actually who also approached us about people in their families. And I feel like when I say artists, I mean also influencers, people who left print here in Kuwait or outside. So we do want to shed light on that.
Yeah, because we don't know. We never heard about some of these stories. We never heard of them.
Exactly.
And we live here, and it's like our heritage or our history, and we don't know it. So we want them to write more, tell us more, inform us about it. It would be amazing to shed light on these people.
It would actually be amazing if you had some influence on the postal service as well.
Yeah, I know.
I hope so.
That would be great.
This is our dream.
Yeah.
I remember coming to Kuwait and seeing these this post different postal. What are they called? These stands for letters and all, where you can actually drop a letter. And I asked in some of these communication centers, as they call them, but they said, no, these are not operational.
They're not working.
Who knows what's inside and so on. But they're still in the streets, some of them. And they look actually so beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, they're old and ruined, but they're so gorgeous. For one of our programs that we do with the wonderful instructors, Dima and Lulua, the NECTUB creative writing program, we created one of these storages where kids actually drop their letters, because they write to these travelers like Ibn Majid and Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then they write to them about, and these letters are so beautiful because, of course, we read them because we use them later for children to create zines in the end of the program. Some of these zines are actually behind you.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes,
love it.
which are in a way our contribution into this whole writing and leaving a written mark of our
Yeah.
experiences and shared experiences and so on. It's a joint project for children. And they enjoy it so much, the just the dropping of the letter, the receiving of the letter, of course. Well, I guess the children are not listening to this podcast yet, so I can say that our instructors write back and so on as this. But they write about beautiful things. For instance, a child will write about what we got them to eat that day. Because it's such a big thing what you're
For that,
eating,
yeah.
you know, when you
yeah.
make a break. Or, you know, how they feel about something they did or accomplished. And the whole idea behind the program is learning or appreciating language and just the love of language. In the beginning, everybody thinks it's going to be grammar and spelling. It's absolutely not about that.
Yeah.
And because in the end of the day, we want to confidently and freely speak in our language. What is the language of your emotions? I'm guessing Arabic is, but
For me, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think English.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For my kids as well. I understand that. Yeah. It's the connection. I feel very, very comfortable speaking in English about my emotions too, but definitely I realize that my mother tongue is the language of my emotions. And I see it now in reading other Balkan languages, which are similar. So I also can follow Croatian, Bosnian, Montenegrin, and, you know, it's just beautiful. Because it's in a way like Arabic with dialects, although I probably shouldn't be saying this. Officially, they're all separate languages. Yeah, I think that's that thing of kind of recognizing something. So when I took the letters last time from you, there were some in Arabic.
Yeah.
And I sat with a dear colleague, and you know, she read them for me. We discussed them and so on. And I don't feel like I'm too far away from what was written. You know, even though I can't read it myself.
Yeah.
And the contributions are in both English and Arabic. You don't make this. You want it to be like both languages, or you leave it to
No, we
contributors.
leave it to
Leave it
them.
to
If
the
they want to
artist.
write in Spanish, let it
them.
be. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
really.
because we see that people who actually sign up, actually not everyone who signs up is Arab and Arab.
Yeah.
So they do translate their letters and they're enjoying it. And I do the same. I have so many postcards that I bought from different countries and I ask friends to translate them to me. And now we have AI. So
Yeah.
so I do that and it feels special when you know what the letters are about and it's beautiful.
And you feel it,
Yeah,
even
and
if
you
it's in
feel
a
it.
different language,
Oh,
like you
definitely,
said.
definitely.
Yeah. You relate.
Especially on these things that you know we all relate to, like nature. You know, when they speak in these last letters, there was this beautiful story of Lebanon, and you know, the remembrance of days there. I felt like this is when I was a kid and went to like my grandparents, you know, who had a house in the mountains, and we would pick up fruits and teas and. So you suddenly get transported there. I think living these different lives through your letters is another thing that a lot of us are enjoying. Through this initiative, what were some lessons learned? How did you grow? How do you grow in life?
How do you grow?
difficult
That's a very
question.
difficult question.
And I mean, whatever part of it you want to answer, it's probably a big one. But
I think reflecting on everything we read, that's
Yeah.
a huge part of it. That you actually sit and think and reflect and you don't let the day just pass like
Yeah, you
any
take
other
the
day.
time.
You
a
take
window
the
to so
time.
many lives too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Their experience may not be relatable immediately, but
Yeah.
you feel some kind of
And
connection.
that's the magical part about writing and reading. And
how
when you leave
much?
that.
How much? It's incredible how people trust you.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean,
You know, with their stories,
Yes.
with everything, because you are the medium for them to share it with others.
And
It
I think
is
having a
amazing.
trust is an important part because you want to make sure you make
Their
them
letter.
comfortable and they trust you on
Yeah.
their art and you're going to preserve it and not have it or I don't know. maybe.
And no, and it's
And
they're,
use it
they're
another way.
involved in every step of
Yeah,
the
they
creation,
are.
so they know like what's gonna happen.
Exactly. We involve them in everything. Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
they have to
printing
choose like the background, the color. We don't want them to feel like their letter is not theirs. It's
Yeah.
their letter.
We try to make it as the original as much as we can. And we try our best.
The authenticity that you mentioned already, yeah. And you guys know each other for a long time and have collaborated for a long time. How do you make decisions in this joint initiative about the next steps, or is it a lot of conversation? Is it relatively like natural? Comes naturally?
Very natural. Yeah. We
we're
don't
on the
really
same
think of
page.
it much.
Yeah.
And she gives me all the freedom. Like, for example, I love that she gives me my space, especially with social media, because she knows I'm like picky about how to post. And she's like, this is your space. You do whatever you want. And we don't have to we just do it naturally. We don't have to ask much or.
Yeah.
Have you encountered a lot of challenges in doing this that were like difficult to overcome?
Not much, but then maybe
sometimes the printing doesn't come out as good as we wanted it.
And
or,
also
like, the
reaching
colours.
bigger audience, or not even audience, the artist, like getting replies. Or
some really famous artists, like we kind of tried to connect with them and we couldn't.
And it's not because people don't want to reply, but then it's hard to contact people through emails and social media. Sometimes it gets lost. Yeah. But on the other hand, we also were very surprised. By the amount of messages we got. And so many people actually, especially from the Gulf, started messaging us that they wanted to get these letters, and that's why we have them digitally on Substack and the page. But people still want
the physical.
Of course,
and it's hard for us because we can't promise, especially on these times, to deliver these letters.
It was hard saying no to so many people, like from I think Dubai,
Qatar, Bahrain, even
Perhaps
UK,
in the
different
future.
countries.
We keep
but
telling
hopefully,
them, hopefully in the future.
Definitely.
The good thing is to keep an open mind. I am also curious. So you said that your letters are left, the letters that you send out every month are left in one specific place, right? It's the same partner, the carpet shop from the beginning.
He's part of the project since day one,
So I was wondering whether there were more because I wasn't sure about the beginning. But it's great. So you have like a firm partner from the beginning in that. And it's a great place to pick up the letters because, you know, it's an antique shop.
It is.
So many things to see and do and buy. And
And it changes with every mail collection. Like, I'm just like, wow, the shop changed again.
Every month the shop is like a different place.
It is.
It's amazing. Like they get new antiques.
Yeah. I think they said last time they don't have enough space for everything they actually have in store for us. Has those first people who came to the shop the first time you did it, how did that look like? What do you remember? Anything interesting or how you felt?
Some people came just to pick up and leave, and we kind of wanted to make it an experience, so like stay, have coffee,
have some coffee, cake,
banana bread,
you're feeding people.
My famous banana bread. But because I'd say the first one was interesting because of Huda's letter, and it was the timing also. We chose, was it the Liberation Day or
it was a day before?
The day before. So read, especially the ones who were born and they were there at the time of the war.
Who remember?
Who remembered? They reflected on the letter, and it was very emotional to watch them. Like some of them crying, and it was very interesting and special. So. And I guess later on with Sarah's piece, the ceramic
letter,
it was also another interesting.
Some people were like, "What is this? What do we do with it?" And it was like it's made with her own hand. It has her thumbprint, and you can use it. Like
I decided I will put it on the wall.
Good choice
because it's a beautiful piece of art, and it carries so much meaning.
And even this was made like from recyclable paper.
Yes, I recognize, I realize because we make paper here with children in our programs, so
and it's
we
a
let
different
it dry
piece,
and
for each person. It's like her fingerprints, and that's her letter. I love that.
I also wrote on it one day, and then deleted because or actually wiped. Because it's possible. But I felt like it looks best to me as an art piece.
It's beautiful.
It is.
And we also had a letter from Fatma Dashti, and it was a letter between her and her grandfather. It was
I love this concept of stamps,
it's
of
his
everything.
handwriting and her handwriting, and it's so beautiful.
And that's her grandfather.
And that's her grandfather.
I figured.
I love watching her stories with her grandfather. it's just, yeah, beautiful. And when I approached her, I said, oh, please try.
Get
If
her
you want,
grandfather.
yeah.
It's incredible how we, in this crazy era, which feels like we're all so separated by our narratives,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people try to separate us by nationalities, religions, everything else, how we actually crave the personal story and the personal connection, which is, I think, what's so beautifully put together in your initiative. But curious about something, and this is one of my favorite questions. How do you rest? How do you find the time
Yeah.
to start, other thing from scratch? Creativity is a difficult job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
We rest in different ways.
we rest
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
different ways.
Which
I
is
have
good,
cats,
because then you can,
alhamdulillah. I cuddle with my cats.
Okay, that's
They're
good, a
my
cat lady.
therapy. And I think also taking things slowly to recharge,
Yeah.
and then until we get fill up with different creative ideas,
Yeah.
whether reading or
I
like
I
just
read. Like
yeah.
for me, resting is both reading and writing. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it is the creative process,
Yeah.
but it's still a way to wind down.
True.
So it feels good after a full hectic day to just, write down what happened, like a
Yeah.
journal or a diary. And I feel like it's amazing.
It is.
I don't have a cat.
Sorry.
Maybe it's time, yeah.
Maybe.
I never thought I would have a cat, but in COVID we adopted
That's
a
how
cat.
we got all of our
Yeah.
cats. They were all adopted from the
Yeah,
streets. in
we have
COVID
one,
time.
and but
Yeah.
it's just. But my son is a cat whisperer. Like the way he connects to her, it's just. Yeah, there's something. He wanted to do this as a school talent when he's 13 this year, but when he was smaller, he said, "This is my talent."
Beautiful.
And I asked him, "How will you present it?" Because there's no way to
How is
really
that-
present.
yeah.
But anyway, it was a beautiful idea.
It is beautiful.
I want to know, you are both, if I'm not mistaken, you're both Kuwaiti. So this is forever home. You can make many other homes everywhere else, but this is forever home as well. What is the community you hope to see in Kuwait? What is that?
I think
Who is living in Kuwait in a beautiful community that you can envisage?
we hope for people to be more curious.
Yeah.
More curious to write, to read, to connect, and make the time to do such things, to get to
Yeah.
know one another, and to express their feelings. That's the world that I want to see.
Yeah,
Build on curiosity
Yes,
and
And knowing everyone, because right now we know everyone, but behind a screen. We kind of want to meet people.
Yeah.
This is a dying art as
It
well.
is,
Meeting people in reality,
True.
not just online.
True.
Seeing their
Would
stories.
you be able to share who is your community? I mean, these are obviously some people you know, then some people you got to know through the initiative, but also are they everybody's local, obviously, but are they also people of different
they're
backgrounds,
mixed.
different?
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
mixed. Like
Very
some of the people that we met through Zajil, I've already met in Kuwait Sunrise Club. And in Kuwait Sunrise Club, it's a mix of backgrounds and different nationalities, Kuwaitis,
Yeah.
non-Kuwaitis,
All
people who come
ages, all-
to visit their families and then they leave.
Beautiful.
And it's the same with the Zajil. It's, I'd say mostly locally because you have to be in Kuwait.
Yeah.
So whether you're Kuwaiti or not, you have to be based here.
But I think
to
it's
connect.
beautiful that sometimes things are just left local
Yes.
because there's so much work here already.
There is,
Yes.
It's easy, to reach out once everything is really the way you want it.
Yeah,
where
but the
you
age
are.
group is different from
That's
I'd
amazing,
say
too.
60s or more to 80s.
It just says how much it applies to everything you're can we know more about we discussed the stamp collection, something you have and you are very invested in, but also the ones you find here in Kuwait. We were discussing a little bit before taping, and you have some books for us also of the stamps of Kuwait. How do you your last collection had one, well, this last one you showed actually is all about the stamps, the exchange with the grandfather, but there's a letter with an actual stamp.
Yes, actually two letters was one of them was Huda's first letter,
Yes,
and we used the one for
the previous one,
invasion, and the second
Invasion
one
stamps.
the second one was for Sara Al-Askar recently had a
Yeah.
stamp. But my love for the stamps يعني يعني
It transcends.
yeah.
Transcends,
That's how I
exactly.
actually started my other business account, Raw Eco, the environmental bag. My first design ever was made from my collection of stamps. I started with Kuwait stamps of Kuwait, and then it became international stamps, Lebanese stamps, and then I had
Saudi
different
stamps.
local
Yeah.
designs, flora of Kuwait, birds of Kuwait, and they got
Whales.
really
I love the whales one.
and the whales, the Arabian whales.
Yeah.
And they became really popular that I've seen different designs that came after that were, they told me they were inspired by
So many
the
things
ones
to
that-
learn from these because they
Yeah.
commemorate different moments. Now that you're mentioning birds, and
Yeah.
we had a calendar last year with 365 different information on the back of every day. It was the nostalgic one to tear the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love those.
So one of them, or actually two facts, were about the birds in Kuwait because people are unaware what a super important spot
Yeah.
Kuwait is for migratory birds.
Yeah.
And there are so many things you can combine in what you're doing. I really love the aspect of that. Can you share a little bit more about the plan? So you mentioned the collective you are looking into in the archive. Any other plans for the end of the project or currently, or where can people still sign up for your letters? And all?
People can sign up through DM.
Yeah.
For the next one is soon on the 4th of July.
4th of July. Yeah.
But we're hoping that at the end of the project we do come up with
First, the archive.
the
of course,
archive,
book,
like printed
and
book for
the
everyone to have,
exhibition.
and also having an exhibition
Yeah.
to showcase all
All
these
of the
letters.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so
that's what we're
excited
hoping
already.
for.
Yes.
We're working on it.
We're working
Still
on
not
it,
there.
definitely.
Yeah.
We're almost at the end of our time today, and I hope we got to share all the important pieces of information for your beautiful Alzajil initiative. So you have an Instagram account. This is where people can find you. Sign up for the letters. Look for further events or exhibition or the archives and so on. And also follow you on some other accounts that we've mentioned, the Sunrise Club.
Yes.
And the community is growing. I hope we managed to do a little bit of a contribution there with this episode. We are incredibly grateful you shared your story with us, and we hope to see you back maybe with the
Well,
news
we'll
on the
see you in
exhibition.
the next mail
Inshallah.
collection.
Well, for
hopefully. We're
sure,
waiting.
because I have signed up. Yes, and
Yes.
I'm looking forward. And I have to admit, when I saw it's 4th of July, right? I thought, oh, 4th of July.
I
It
know.
feels like ages. Why not tomorrow? You know, I think that the sweet expectation is also a beautiful thing about these. Yeah.
But you also need to wait for your mail. Mail is it takes time
It
for
takes
you.
time. Yeah, and it teaches us patience.
Yeah, it does.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank
today.
you so
Thank you
much.
for having
Shukran.
us. Shukran.